So, good evening and welcome to Sober and Smiling. My name's Rob.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Black.
So, tonight's episode, we're on episode 36, I believe. So, 36, yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? So, discussion for tonight. I've seen this actually on some of the threads that I've looked at. So, it's we're going to call it sober versus clean. So, there's a big debate going on as to when you're new in recovery is, are you actually clean or not? So what I would say to that is you need to be clean in recovery and call yourself in recovery and clean if you're totally free of as we say, all mind altering substances. So I know quite a few people, and I've seen on threads that people are say predominantly an alcoholic, so they've stopped drinking and they're not touching alcohol, but they still say smoke cannabis, or they still a big one is they still take steroids, because when you come into recovery you need a replacement addiction, and gym is quite a big one up there, and we get addicted to that in the gym. I know a lot of people that are clean from their drug of choice, say, but take steroids, and they think that that's clean. They think they can sort of like make comments that I'm in recovery, I'm clean and sober today. And for me, it's like, no, you're not. You're really not. You're just swapping one addiction for another. And it's where you stop that. Where do you stop that? Because I can quite easily go into, say, spend too much money shopping because it can give me a little buzz. Is that clean? Because it's still I'm still getting a dopamine hit on, but it's a legal sort of like safe dopamine.
Change the way they feel.
Yeah. So yeah, where do we stop it? I mean, I stop it at drugs. Anything really. So anything like that that's mind altering. I think that for me is the key. It's mind altering rather than a stimulus. So you can all get a stimulus from going shopping and spending a bit of money in that little buzz that you get, but it's the mind altering bit that concerns me. I don't believe somebody that has only had a problem with drinking, say, never had a problem with drugs, stopping drinking, but then they go on to weed and stuff and they think that's okay. I don't think it's okay. I think it's totally wrong. So yeah, what's your thoughts, everyone?
It is, like I say, it is a tricky one for some. I can see how it is tricky for some people, and personally for me, I can't touch anything that's mind altering. So whether it's prescribed from the doctor, over the counter medication like cocodamol or something like that, alcohol, cocaine, I can't touch it, because I think that's kind of that's when the allergy sets off in me. But in the past, when I've been in rehab, the first 3 times I went to rehab, I'd come out and I thought I was kind of clean and sober because I wasn't drinking alcohol and taking cocaine, which were my drugs of choice. But I was still on antidepressants from the doctors.
Yeah.
But again, that's still a mind-altering substance, so that's still changing the way that I feel, or it's kind of numbing my emotions. So it's not resolving anything. It's just a temporary solution to my problem. So, like I say, you stop taking that drug, and those feelings will start coming back.
Yeah.
But whether I've really needed them, I don't know, because obviously when I was mad in my addiction, I've gone to the doctors, and that's kind of, I know I'm manipulating the doctors, because I go and say, I feel like this, I feel like that, I've got anxiety and depression, and then it's ask me if I drank, and I'm like, not really, but I was drinking probably, stupid amounts of vodka on a daily basis. And they asked me if I took drugs, and I said I've never touched them in my life. So, and you're in and out within two or 3 minutes. So I'm lying to the doctors, and they give me tablets to walk about with dopamine and serotonin. It's just like another tablet that I've added into my cocktail of drugs.
Yeah.
And then I needed blood pressure tablets on top of that, which I don't need anymore. So, it's like, where does that line stop? But, for me today, I've got completely nothing in my system. It's the first time I've ever done it in my life. And, I've been on something since I was 14, and I'm 49 now, so 35 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, about the, you know, the cross addicting with, you know, going to the gym. I've done that in the past. You know, the what you said about the steroids thing there. Yeah, I mean, steroids are, you know, they're still classed as a mind-altering substance. So steroids are, you know, a massive no-no. But like you say, where do you cross that line? Because there's always something. You know, I know for a fact, you know, because I've got, you know, addiction to me is like an obsession of the mind. And if I'm not careful, I can get obsessed with getting my steps in, you know, getting my sleep quality up. I mean, I've actually stopped wearing my watch for a bit because, you know, I was getting obsessed with how good my sleep score was and stuff. And it's like I was trying to beat my score.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing 15,000 steps, which 10,000 steps is a decent amount. But now I had to do 15,000. And it gets like 9 o'clock at night when I want to go to bed and I'm at 14,658. So I have to run around the kitchen island to get my steps up. You know, and I remember going to bed and thinking, I was late there thinking, I need to like shut all, you know, shut all my circles on my watch. But, you know, it's just like, but it's just changing one addiction for another. But I kind of recognise it now. You know, I don't let myself get obsessed with anything. I don't really buy anything. I mean, before, you know, when I'm coming out, I've bloody bought, you know, all sorts all the time. I always have something turn up at the house, but I've stopped doing that. And I think it's because I feel quite content and I feel quite happy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've not bought anything because I have, but you know, my spending how it used to be, it's you know, my spending habits completely changed. I was always bothered about bloody designer clothes and this, that, and the other, but it doesn't bother me anymore. You know, because I think that again, that's like that image that you're trying to portray.
Yeah. Yeah, you're trying to put a mask on. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got a mask on, but I just don't feel like I have to wear a mask anymore. It's, you know, I am who I am. If you don't like it, it's tough shit. Yeah.
I think it's a big thing as to. I mean, it's crossing that line. That's the issue. If anything is you're doing something, whatever it is, if that crosses that line where it becomes uncontrollable, then that's the issue, isn't it? It's you've got. We all know that if you drink and you stop that, then taking drugs is a big no-no. But it's like you said, if shopping habits and stuff like that become addictive, or your steps become addictive, you know automatically that is affecting your lifestyle and that's affecting your the way you think and everything else. So if that's the issue, that's an issue, then that has to be stopped, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you want to say that, I suppose I'm addicted to my lifestyle now because I do, you know, I have to work on myself every day. You know, do me. You know, me checking myself in the morning, me ice baths and stuff. Although I was going in every day, and I thought, I don't want to rely on it because you know, if you go on holiday or something like that, or you go away and you can't go in it, is it going to mess my head up? So I've stopped kind of going in it every day now. I mean, I go in it most days, but if there's a day that I feel like I really want to go in it, I think no, I want to, you know, sit myself in that uncomfortable and not go in it.
Yeah, you can become addicted to routine.
Yeah, routine. Well, I've definitely got addicted to routine. But you know, I know that routine's saving my life. So that's.
I know people who've like been addicted to like routine and everything. I had a friend who, literally, he came into sobriety and all that, and again he came straight into it. And he's done well, but you know he went, like you said, straight to the gym, and that went straight to the gym. And he started using that as his sort of coping mechanism, which became another addiction. But after that, he also took up boxing, which is not a bad thing. You know, burn it off, learn some discipline, not a bad thing. But then he became sort of addicted to that, and that just began taking over his life. Like, and he's a very successful, you know, he's a very successful fucking car salesman and that. And he said to the point, he got to the point where he was having to monitor his whole day around his gym and his boxing, and that just to make everything make sense, so his head wasn't just rattled and that. I remember him saying to me, he's got that far into it, he even got himself into a proper match. But the thing was, as we know, we all get ourselves really sucked in. Yeah, that's it. He convinced himself in his head he was going to win. Problem is, he didn't realise he was getting in there with someone who was a lot better than him. And sadly, he lost. He got a bit of thumping, and that almost kicked. He said to me that it almost kicked me off to a relapse because in his head he'd become so much of a routine and told himself that was, oh, this is mine, this is mine. All of a sudden, when he lost, he didn't know how to process. He was like, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
No, luckily, he sort of got himself back on a level. It was almost like the wake-up call he needed to say, right, I've been hitting this too hard. I need to, take him off a lot.
But that. I mean, anybody in recovery will know that is the life of us. We're going to have to live this life for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
We're going to have to live with the fact that once you're an addict, you'll always be an addict, no matter what. You'll die an addict.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. I will die at hopefully a very old age, but I'll still be a fucking addict, and there'll still be weeks and months that I'll be addicted to something or obsessed over something. But it's how you process it and how you deal with it. It's staying off, learning to cope with the small stuff and staying away from the fucking heavy stuff. Because that ain't ever going to change. I'm always going to have tendencies to take things to excess because that's who I am. I've just got to fucking live with it. But it's just staying away from the fucking anything mind altering.
And the big thing with recovery, as we know, is when you come to it, you learn to start dealing with those big emotions because you've never had to do them before.
Yeah.
You've never had to do it before because you've always masked it. And
Yeah.
And that's one of the best things you kind of learn it in recovery. Is how to deal when things get heavy in that instead of running away and thinking, right, I need something to take this off my brain and that. You think, right, okay, I hit it. Well, this is what I do. That's it. I'll hit it head on, get it sorted. If whatever the consequences are, if I've done something wrong, I'll face them.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Well, that's the thing about good recovery. Is a good recovery will show you eventually that you are maybe obsessing over something like going to the gym or whatever it is, and then you'll back off from it because you won't bury your head in the sand. It will be you will deal with it at a point before it gets too serious.
My share of the way of the like impulsive decisions and impulsive decision making, and like you say, I hit something head on and I'll carry on doing it. And I carry on doing it until the point where I'm obsessing over it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting too far into it and maybe I need to pull out from stopping it, which is why to play hockey, it's good to, we have a winter break where I won't play, there's summer break, sorry, I don't play summer league. Otherwise I'd be playing hockey every single week. And obviously James, when you're doing the recovery, it's good to have a break in the middle sometimes if you're really obsessing over something. So I move my mind to, like say, looking at your steps, looking at your sleep count, but I don't let that get too far into the point where I start to obsessing over it.
Yeah. You've got to notice, like I say, a lot of people take up exercise or gym in early recovery and kind of find that that's like their new way to cope. Or and I've seen it so many times before. Everyone kind of goes to the gym and think, well, that's all they need to concentrate on because it kind of keeps their head in the game temporarily. And then they get an injury in the gym or something like that. What do they do?
Yeah.
Go back and have a use up again because that's what they've used to kind of cope. That's kind of why I said to you, it's, you need to have a break because if you're using that to
to put your mind off something else,
you need to just
you're replacing
just change one thing for another. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all hit it. I mean,
it's helped me realise, like I say, my impulsiveness and how bad it was becoming with whatever, with everything that I was doing.
Yeah.
Not just doing drugs and stuff like that. So
yeah,
but. Yeah, it was one of the stuff that came from this, which is very good.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, the whole sort of like drug of choice thing. I've got people that I know that went into rehab and then went in for say drugs or coke or whatever, and then came out and thought nothing of the fact that they go to the pub every night. But literally 2 years down the line or a year down the line, it'd still be on Facebook. 2 years clean.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're not. I mean, you want to go on and go, no, you're not, mate. You're just not. But you can't because it's their recovery. But you can't. I don't see how anyone can say they're clean if. I mean, the smoking of weed is a big thing. And it is a big thing in places like AA and stuff. I know a lot of people that use use weed as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
The fact that they're not drinking, and then they think it's okay because it's not their drug of choice, and that's the big thing that you need to overcome. Drug of
Just
choice
change
is
the choice
just
at that point, almost.
You're just changing your
Yeah.
choice. Yeah.
Another one I had is that calming tablet. So I've heard that from a few people. You know, like calms you get because it's supposed to like relax you and that. So when people start getting so they drink, they just knock up these tablets back and it sort of relaxes them. But
because
again, that's
it gives
but
them
to me
a
that's pill
fucking-
dependence.
Yeah.
So.
I just really changed from doing coke all the time to doing sleeping tablets.
Yeah.
To help him sleep at night time, things like that. But then he got obsessive to the point where he was needing to take stronger doses and he couldn't even one of them doses that he couldn't sleep because he was so addicted to getting the buzz before he went to sleep for it, which I don't really know how it does it.
Well, that's the
then
thing.
tried
You're not
take
taking
them,
it
so-
because you want to sleep. You're taking it for the buzz, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 So when,
Yeah,
you try,
it's just-
so when you try and push yourself through that sleep
Yeah.
phase, that's
Yeah.
what people are trying to do.
But you'll get the best night's sleep in the entire world once you. I mean, I couldn't believe that I actually slept when I came out of sort of rehab. I hadn't slept for sort of like 30 odd years or properly
Yeah.
slept.
Yeah, yeah.
I blacked out and sort of like had my body had to rest, but I haven't actually fucking slept properly until I came to bloody recovery.
And I
It's
used to
just
sleep
like
at
amazing.
When I used to sleep at 3 a.m. and going to bed at 10:30, 11:30, and
Yeah.
it's incredible. You wake up in the morning and your body is normal.
That's
And
it.
you're not not normal, but you're energized. You're not too down or out and feeling like taking a come down. It's horrible, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yes.
What's going off?
I don't know. There was a great big fucking look. Sorry, there's stuff on the screen that
You like-
I don't
you like-
know what I'm doing.
hopefully it's not come out.
I don't know what to do.
But I don't know.
live streamed.
It looks like we're live streaming because there's little images on the screen, so I don't know if this is going to come out on video. Hopefully it won't. But yeah, I mean, I never got my head around when I went into rehab. Obviously, I was struggling. I was on fucking God knows what. I was literally sort of like on 3 bottles of wine and a bottle of vodka a day. Copious amounts of pills and stuff, and I went in there thinking that obviously you go cold turkey and everything else, but I was warned I couldn't go cold turkey because of having fits and stuff and having a fucking seizure. And I could not believe it that their remedy, and I'm not knocking this at all, but their remedy was to give me fucking Librium,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
a.
I've had Librium every time I've been.
And it was, for me, as an addict, when I went in there, it's like fucking amazing. It was
It's
just
like,
like,
yeah, nice. Yeah.
give me loads. It was just like, and that for me was, that was like swapping one drug for another. But it made me.
This shows I'm a real druggie. I actually really used to like having your detox when I went
Did you?
It was my favourite week.
I
they
mean,
just chuck you with bloody sleeping, you get sleeping tablets, don't they?
they
Like
give you
Librium.
everything, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you need to because your body needs to detox
Mm.
from especially the alcohol. That when I went in, it needs to get rid of all that out of my bloodstream. But yeah, I lost sort of like fucking 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a total whack in that 3 or 4 days.
Do you know what? You know, speaking about beer, to say the amount that I was drinking the second time I went in, the amount of vodka that I was drinking on a daily basis, and I did it for a long, long time. I never got the shakes. I never
Did
had
you know?
no.
Man,
I never had the shakes.
I
I
know.
couldn't even tell you what the shakes are, and I was doing 2 litres of vodka a day.
I
I've
couldn't.
never got
I
the
know.
shakes.
I used to go to work. I used to work in London. I used to go to work, and we'd have to have a sit down at a table and stuff, and talk about fucking debt and stuff like this, and customers owing sort of like money. And mate, I could not pick a cup of coffee up.
Yeah.
And people always used to say to me, why are you not drinking the coffee?
Mm.
Literally, I could not pick that up with you looking at me because it would be it'd be like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't know why I never did, but like I said, I don't know half the stuff.
But you
It's not happening.
Yes, I remember going. I said the old story of me going to my first AA meeting. I decided to stop drinking on the Sunday, and my meeting was on the Wednesday. And I was like, usually I was like 2 litres of vodka a night, and then I'd gone complete nothing. I remember when Wednesday hit, fucking hell, I was like white as a sheet, actually shaking, just crazy, and sweating, just absolute sweats, and it's an awful thing. I remember trying to do a cup of tea, and I was this one.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh man,
It is horrible. Just so, do you remember those fucking early times? Because it is so easy to forget how bad it was.
oh god,
I mean, I remember them quite fucking vividly.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever leave me, but I know a lot of people will say that, yeah, they don't. It's like it's like rose tinted glasses. They forget how bad it was.
No, I think that's kind of why. I think that's why I do so well now, because I never in all the other times I've been in, I never really saw how bad it was, or I can never actually remember. But now,
Yeah,
it's the first. In my head, everything's all. The beer would be nice tonight. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Right? No, it doesn't end like that. This is what happens.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I can see it now. I've got that vision of how tits up it goes, and I've tried so many times before. I've tried every single back doorway and put one thing down, pick another thing up, left it so many months, even a year,
yeah,
thinking I'll be all right now. And I feel like I've had to go on that journey though to prove to myself that I know I can't. It's like, well, maybe you can. You know what I mean? Because I've got a very, very strong way of thinking. My sort of, well, maybe you can if you wait that long, or maybe you do this, or maybe you do that. And I've tried it all, and it don't work.
no, yeah. I mean that is quite a big thing in recovery as well. I mean, I've been around about the rooms quite a few years, and you see a lot of newcomers come in. They are sort of like hoping for that miracle recovery where it all sets itself and goes back and does a little factory reset, and then you can go back out again.
Yeah, that's what I said to Jamie the first time I came in properly was, I hope I can do it in moderation eventually, but then, like you say, you start to realise, don't you? The sides pop up and you just...
like to say,
things will go other ways.
You can do it on the
It's off you, is it?
you'll become sick.
No, exactly.
No, exactly. Yeah.
That's it. I had to hit the rock bottom first.
Yeah.
Going into AA, I thought the teacher would drink like a fucking gentleman. Then I also remember going in there the first night, hearing the word of God. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have
But I've never seen anybody to like go out. So when I see all these newcomers come in and they stop drinking 6 months or a year or what, however long it is, and they go back out and test the water and think that they can drink again, I've never seen any single person come back in and go, I fucking will. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. The best thing I ever did in life, that was that they all come back absolutely broken, absolutely fucking guilty, absolutely sort of like bereft of themselves. It's the worst thing in the world. So I personally take all that award and go, I don't need to fucking try it. You lot have done it for me. I don't need to. There's not one person has come back and went, yeah, that was good.
I got my first relapse. I came in here and Jamie knew straight away. I mean, I'd gone out on a 3-day bender after having came down the pub for one drink.
Yeah.
Gone out on a 3-day bender. I'd sniffed 2.5 grams of cocaine for 3 days straight. Didn't go to work. Didn't see any of my family. Locked myself in the flat I was in. That was it. And I came in here and I was sat in the chair with Jamie all crouped over and Marnie went on myself. And I was minding the world and everything around me.
Yeah.
But it was my fault.
Yeah.
But 2 months ago, I'd never realised. 2-3 months back, I'd have walked through there, sat there smiling, and just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I ain't done anything, Jamie. I'm fine." Because I just don't feel well, something like that. So, luckily, that's all the light.
Best thing I heard about stuff that you just said, Rob, was people think, when you're in addiction, it's like burning a candle. And the candle goes down, down, down. And then eventually you blow the candle out because you stop. Now, some people have got this thing in their head that
It goes back.
Yeah, the candle all of a sudden grows back up. It doesn't. It stays at where it got blown out. So once you go back out, it doesn't think, oh, you can start here where everything was great again. It goes, no, back to the shit time.
Straight back into the leaf started.
Yeah, straight back. You reignite and prepare for what?
It does.
The shit, the whip doesn't grow, does it? You just relight it and take you straight back on you.
You start back where you left off, if not worse.
But if I think about it, even my first fucking drink and my first, say, year of drinking, back 14 or whatever it was, it was never fucking great anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a ball in my early teens and my 20s and stuff. But the actual drinking side of it was never moderation. It was never controlled. It was always full on an absolute fucking mess at the end of the night. It was never I've never drunk normally. So for me to think that after say 8 years of not drinking, I could go think to myself I could go back to drinking normally. I never fucking drunk normally anyway.
Yeah.
So how can I go back to that? Because I've never done it.
It was like holidays. I used to remember it for Camrock. I'd go out with my mates to try for a couple of times, and I'd wake up. I'd wake up on that and go from the Monday to the Sunday. Wake up on the Sunday, I'd fall asleep on the aeroplane, and I'd be like, right, that's what happened last night.
Yeah.
And I'd be asking them what happened, or I'd do the same in the hotel room. I'd be asking them what happened the night before. Then, well, look at this video, look at that video, look at the other video. And it's like, yeah, you had a great time, but you don't remember it. You made memories, but you don't.
I don't know what normal is.
No.
I've
never experienced it.
for more or less the first time I drank.
Yeah.
It took me fucking years to understand that. I mean, I never even looked at it that way until I came into recovery. That, I knew, obviously at the end I knew I was a bad drinker, but I never even considered what was going on for my teens and that. And when I actually sat and took it all seriously and started looking back, I was like, yeah, even from the age of about 14, 15, I was never a normal drinker. Where we used to go out drinking cider and that. My mates are drinking all cider, and back in those days you had the Alka-Pops that just come out. They're all drinking them. I've got a litre of fucking Boomers or a litre of Thunderbirds in my hands, just the strongest stuff. But to me that was all, I'm fucking big, I can fucking drink stronger stuff than you lot. I never even considered that. That was probably the start of my ascension to where I went to.
I remember mixing drinks from like being 15 years old, and I used to make something called a Blastaway, which was Castaway and Diamond Wine. Castaway and Diamond Wine. And then I was like 14 years old when I drank that. I mean, that used to blow your bloody head off.
I'd just get a cup of mixed Bacardi, tequila Rose, stick any Black Sambuca, anything I could find, put it in a pint glass and neck it.
Yeah.
And then I'd wake up, I go upstairs, I go to bed, and mum and dad would be trying to wake me up in the morning, like, oh, you've got work. I'd be like, oh, shit. I'd be like, I'm still feeling it, because I'd done it, blacked out, gone to sleep, woke up still feeling rough, like I was slightly still hammered. So,
it's not.
Yeah. See, I always thought that I
definitely I do, I think.
So like when I first came in, I had these rose tinted glasses that in later life it all got fucking wrong and a bit messy. But it's not true. I mean, I look back at my life and nothing was fucking normal for what I did. Absolutely nothing was normal. Even as a teenager and 20 odd, I'd be fucking waking up in police cells and strange beds and fucking pissing the bed or whatever. It didn't for me, it didn't progressively get worse. My brain got worse, but my actual substance use didn't progressively get worse. It was fucking like 100 miles an hour nightmare stuff from day one.
I got that bad when I was when I used to get, like I say, go out and get drunk on a Saturday. The police were near enough waiting outside the pub for me. And I was getting to the front desk, and the sergeant was booking me and giving me all my details down without me even knowing. I was just sat in the little holding cell bit, or the little waiting room bit with a glass door on, just asleep, while they were waiting to transport me to a cell. And they were just jotting all my details down because I was that much of a dickhead at the time. Excuse my language, but. I mean, mum and dad were waking up every Sunday morning prepared to come to Skeg or wherever I was, or Louth police station to come get me. Without even having a phone call some mornings.
Yeah.
They just knew if I didn't turn up, they knew where I was. And I mean, at least they knew where I was, at least, I was safe. But, yeah.
So upshot of what's addicting and whether clean is clean and what is clean. For me, I'll say again, clean is no, you can't. No steroids, no weed, no pills, no booze, no drugs. Clean is clean, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, to me, clean is the term, but total abstinence of everything. Because to me, to be clean is just straight edge. There's no sort of differ to it. If you're still using something to change the way you think, then you're not doing it right. In my eyes.
Okay, I've got one to throw a spanner in the works here. This is why I like going into the future stuff. If I had an accident and I broke my leg, for argument's sake, or I had a big car crash and I had to be put on morphine and all that sort of stuff, would I not no longer be clean?
Yeah, I think yes, you would be clean because that's not your choice.
Yeah.
Your choice would.
Yeah, if you're under.
I think as soon as you come out of hospital, if it's then your choice to then
Carry
take
on.
drugs, then no, you're not clean.
Mm.
If and yes, you'd have to understand that you might have to go through some sort of withdrawal thing because
You've been on it for so long,
hospitals just save your life, and you might have to go through some sort of withdrawal thing.
Yeah.
But you still call yourself clean, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's not your choice to do that. Is it?
That has to be made with cocaine.
It has to be your choice to put it in your body, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Codeine drip. He was on a codeine drip for 6 months while he was in hospital because he split his spleen, I think it was, something like that. But he split it like twice. Yeah. And he was on that, and he come through. He had to go through like say withdrawal part of it just to realise that he was like, oh shit, I am addicted to it still.
But that's also a good point. That's made me think about something else that I've got running from my head at a certain point. We all say that alcohol and drugs are addictive and stuff, and you're a bit like me. You think that they're not. That it's your brain and it's a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
If that was true, the amount of operations and stuff that go ahead.
Why'd everyone come out addicted?
Because morphine is basically heroin, isn't it?
Yeah.
And any operation you have, you pump full of heroin, basically. So if heroin was addictive,
You don't come out.
If it was like,
you'd have millions of people a day fucking addicted.
Yeah.
As soon as they come out of hospital, they'd be addicted.
Yeah.
As soon as they come out of hospital, they'd want to go and score something, but they don't, do they?
No. And that kind of backs up our theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Right, so
About time.
we're at time, believe it or not. Thank you. So yeah, hopefully we'll watch this back, and hopefully there won't be some random images on the screen. I don't know all that was about.
it's probably my talking. I was a bit quiet, wasn't I?
They're great.
So
It was on purpose. If there wasn't, then just ignore that comment. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening. Please have a share. Please have a like. Nick, what are we on?
We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
what about OnlyFans this week?
No, I've almost got the OnlyFans one up. But don't, that's what you have on that photos for everybody next week. But also here we have Jamie's app that she's done. I believe it's called, is it Keep It In The Day?
Keep it in the
You
day.
find a Keep It In The Day, base 44, is it?
Holland Hill, yeah.
Bolton Hill, it's a free app. It's like a little diary you can keep throughout your day, just to let yourself know how you're feeling, write down any emotions or anything that may have annoyed or made you happy, just to keep yourself in check.
Good plug there, Nick. Thank you, mate.
Nice one.
Not bad to that, just cannot tell you off the top of my head.
No worries. And keep watching because there's some interesting stuff coming up. So coming up in the future, we've got some interesting stuff coming up. So yeah, keep viewing, keep listening. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
I wasn't going to put you on the spot that time, Jeremy.